Hi, I'm Clara, and I'm a story hunter. I see a story in everything, and I won't stop until I find it. But before we get into it, please like and subscribe to MSA. My parents thought they'd never have kids, but 10 years after their marriage, they had me. While Mom was over the moon, Dad always seemed annoyed when I tried getting his attention.
Daddy, look! I found a ladybug in the park. Isn't she cute? I rescued her from a parade of ants.
Could you please take this girl away? I'm on a phone call. Of course, honey. Come on, Clara. Let's read some Nancy Drew.
Yay! My favorite!
Dad was weird, but at least I had Mom. She was a journalist before she married Dad and had the craziest stories to tell me. And growing up, I wanted to be just like her. When I turned 10, Mom got me my first recording set, and I went crazy interviewing people on the streets.
Since how long have you been homeless? That's a cute dog. Did you steal it or buy it?
People would pass me weird stares, but I just didn't care. I was following my passion. One evening, I was in a far end of my neighborhood when I missed a turn. The street was empty and it was getting really dark, so I started to walk quickly when a shady black car pulled up next to me. Hey, kid, are you lost? It's freezing out there. Hop in, I'll drop you off. Don't be scared, I won't harm you. See, before he could finish, I punched him hard and ran. I thought I was successful, but seconds later the car stopped again and the guy got out, and I was shocked to see he was the frickin' mayor. He wasn't hurt, but this was so embarrassing. I apologized and he dropped me back home, but someone on the street had made a video of me punching the mayor and it went viral. I was the joke of the town, and Dad was furious. You've crossed all limits. You hit the mayor.
It was a reflex, Dad. I was scared, and I've read so much about these kidnappers in a black car.
All this investigation and these stupid stories are ruining you. What if he wants to take action and drag us to court? I'm a really private person. I don't want this.
Jeez, relax, Dad. He won't. He knows it was just a mistake. Why are you getting so worked up?
That's it. You're grounded. And no more story hunting.
But why? Mom, say something.
But as always, Mom said nothing, and I was done for. Growing up, Dad and I drifted further apart. He stayed cooped up in his office while I got busy with school and perfecting my investigation skills. On my 15th birthday, I begged Mom to get me a professional recording set with a mic, but she simply refused. We just don't have the money for it. I decided to try my luck with Dad and ask him for some money. I wouldn't tell him what it was for exactly, but he wasn't in his office. As I was leaving, suddenly my foot got caught in the carpet and I landed on some boxes full of money. Oh my God, Clara, what are you doing in here? Mom, you said we don't have any money. What is all this? It belongs to your dad and it's not your concern. But it's a lot of money, Mom. It has to come from somewhere. Is Dad a mafia guy? Oh my God, he robbed a bank, didn't he? Stop it. Please, Clara, you don't understand. You need to leave, now. And don't say a word about this to anyone, least of all your dad. Promise me. Something was definitely fishy, but I'd never seen Mom so serious. So I did what she said. I wanted to know more, but I just didn't get the chance to go into Dad's study again. Soon, I got busy with school and forgot all about it. One time in 11th grade, Lena, the head cheerleader and the most popular girl, walked up to me. I heard you can uncover any truth in the world. Is that true? That depends on what kind of truth you want. Well, don't tell anyone, but I think Nick's cheating on me. Who's Nick? Do you live under a rock? Nick's my boyfriend. He's the captain of the football team. Got it. What about him? I just told you. He's cheating on me, and I want you to find out the truth. Oh, yeah. Leave this to me. Be careful. He's a very good liar. No liar can ever hide the truth from the world's greatest investigator. Go and chill, kid. I got this. I started following Nick around everywhere, but I couldn't find any dirt on him. Until one day, I saw him sneak into the coach's office and saw him making out with another girl. I waited till he left without noticing me, and then, right in the middle of the cafeteria, I made him pay. I dropped an entire carton of milk all over his head. What the heck? What do you want, weirdo? Listen up, everyone. This jerk right here cheated on his girlfriend. No, I didn't. I knew you'd say that. Here's the proof. Nick looked at me in shock as I showed him the video of his makeout session. Lena broke up with him instantly, and he was getting a lot of backlash for cheating on the most popular girl around. Soon after he left and got transferred to North High, our rival school. After that, Lena and I started hanging out and became besties. As much as I liked having her around, her band of cheerleaders annoyed me. Especially this girl, Wendy. Lena even had a YouTube channel with her where they ran gossip sessions and fashion advice. You know, I was thinking, why don't we add Clara to the channel? Why? So we lose all our followers and our popularity? I don't think having 5 followers makes you popular. But then again, what do I know? Stop it, you two. Clara is a professional. You saw what she did with Nick, and with her brains and cool stories and my beauty tips and styling, we'll be so much more popular. We'll be like Daphne and Velma. Who? Scooby-Doo? Forget it. We should totally do it. I joined the YouTube channel soon after, and we started with collecting scoops on everyone in school. Within a few months, we hit 1 million subscribers. I was happy, but Lena was on cloud 9. Her popularity was through the roof, and she loved the attention. We got invited to every party in town, and she would drag me with her even when I didn't feel like going. One day I was at her house getting ready for a party when Wendy made a snarky comment. Do you always have to dress up like a homeless person? And why's your hair such a mess? There's nothing wrong with my hair or clothes. I don't want to look all dolled up. Detectives are meant to look rugged, right, Lena? Yeah, but it won't hurt you to put on a little makeup now and then. It'll only make you look prettier. No, it'll make me look like a bimbo. So you think I'm a bimbo? I didn't mean it like that, but Lena was already walking in the other direction. Good job, Sherlock. I wanted to apologize to Lena, but she kept ignoring me at the party and at school the next day. I got that she was mad at me, but it wasn't like she supported me in front of Wendy either. I decided to give her some time and continue doing my bit for the channel. The next day after lunch, I was passing by when I saw Wendy terrorizing the school topper and making him do her assignments. But as I took my camera out, Lena walked up to me and knocked it out of my hand. What are you doing? She's our friend. Nope, she's your friend. She doesn't even like me. Why can't you guys just try to get along? For me? I know you think we're bimbos, but that's the least you can do as my best friend. Oh, you're so dramatic. Okay, fine. I'll let this go. Just this once. And I don't think you're a bimbo. I'm sorry. Stop talking and meet me for boba tea later. Deal? Deal. And just like that, we were back to being besties. And I tried to tolerate Wendy better, even though she still got on my nerves. Soon after, the entire school was buzzing over the senior day prank wars with North High. And Lena was determined to crush the rival school, mainly because Nick was their new student body president. We need to ace this. They should never see us coming. How about we break into the school? You can't be serious, Wendy. You guys will get caught. Not with these masks, we won't. And why are you so negative? I'm being practical. It's the dumbest plan on earth. Back me up, Lena. Actually, I like it. No one will ever know. Now, are you in or out? Out. You know my dad. He would ground me for life if I got caught. You know what, Clara? I've been there for all your dumb investigations. I even got you in on the channel. And now, if you can't support me, then you're not a good friend. Hey, that's not fair. It's my channel too. I made it popular. Really? Wow. Tell me why she's here again. Oh my god, I can't deal with you guys right now. I'm going. Lena turned to leave. I didn't want her to be mad again, so I reluctantly tagged along. But just as we reached there, all the cheerleaders took out spray cans and started trashing lockers and vandalizing the walls. I tried to stop them when Lena banged into me and I went flying into a statue, crashing it to pieces. Those statues are like thousands of dollars. I told you this was a dumb idea. Oh my god, what are we supposed to do? We don't have time. Run! As I made my way home, my heart couldn't stop racing. I'd just made the most terrible mistake of my life, and I prayed no one would find out about it. But the next day at school, I felt numb when the principal called me into his office, with both Dad and Nick waiting for me there, along with a few other people from North High. Clara, where were you last night? I was vandalizing property, right? Are you really that dumb not to know that every school has security cameras? The school authorities checked last night's footage, and guess what they found? Nick flashed the phone in my face with footage of me crashing into the statue and breaking it. Everyone else had a mask on, but me. How could I be so stupid? But it was a mistake. Was it? And who are these other girls with you? Do you have a name? I wanted to punch Nick in the face. He knew I wouldn't rat Lena out, even though I was mad at her for putting me into this mess. Now, either you pay for the damages, or you get expelled for a month, or you give me the names of all the other girls involved, and I'll think about reducing your punishment. I can't. I'm sorry, Dad. Expel her. There's no way I'm paying that money. With that, Dad simply got up and left, leaving me in tears. How could he do this to me? I knew it was my fault, but he was my father. Wasn't he supposed to look after me or something? That evening at home, I had the worst argument with Dad, while Mom just stood in a corner like a stone. Were you at that school for some dumb story? You're such a nuisance. I can't believe you're my kid. I can't believe you're my dad either. What father gets his own child expelled over a few bucks? You never supported me, and you always acted like my existence bothers you. And it's not like you're so perfect yourself. What do you even do, Dad? How do you really make money? How dare you talk to me like that in my own house? I don't have to take this. Mom, are you just gonna stand there and say nothing? This suspension will go down on my record. How can you be such a coward? What is she gonna say? Listen to me, kid. You better stop throwing tantrums and do as I say, or you'll be out of here. I wanted to scream in Dad's face, and I felt angrier at Mom for being quiet. That night, I felt the most alone I'd ever been. The worst part about this was I couldn't talk to Lena either, even though she'd tried calling me 1,000 times. That night, I slept with the worst headache of my life. And the next morning, I woke up to loud noises and Lena shaking me like a mad person. Wake up, dummy! Wake up! Fine, I'm up. What is that noise? Get dressed and come out. Your mom needs you. It's your dad. He's been arrested. Arrested? For what? Just come down. I rushed downstairs, and I was shocked to see our entire yard was surrounded by police cars and reporters shoving cameras in my face, asking a million questions all at once. How does it feel to be the daughter of a lying thief? Did you know about your father's crimes this entire time? Oh my God, what was happening? Just then, I spotted Mom talking to one of the reporters. Mom, what's happening? And why is Lena saying that Dad's been arrested? What Mom told me next shook my entire world. Your father is a criminal, Clara. He was laundering money from his company to fake accounts abroad. I just knew it. That's what all the money was for, right? Yes. I didn't say anything because I wanted to protect your dad. But what's the point of saving his sorry butt when he couldn't even stand up and protect his daughter? So I told the police everything. I even gave them evidence. I don't want to live like a coward. Mom, I'm so proud of you. And I'm sorry for calling you that. It's okay. I know it was a lot for you. Now, let's start afresh. Talking about a fresh start, can we be friends again? I miss you, and I'm sorry for dragging you into this mess. Looks like you did me a favor there. If not for you, I wouldn't have been expelled and Mom would have never taken the step forward. So, thank you. So that means we're cool? Well, will you treat me to boba tea later? And keep that Wendy away from me? You got it. Hi, I'm Kiara from Norway. Please like and subscribe. From the moment I was born, my dad decided I'd be the future of our small country. He was the head of the government and was loved and respected by everyone. Dad always wanted me to be like him, so my training started pretty young. You must have seen kids running after butterflies in the park or jumping on couches. Well, I never did any of that. Instead, I had to attend special etiquette classes as soon as I was old enough to sit at the table. I never spoke loudly, and there were certain words I wasn't allowed to use, like poop or pee. Always say, I want to drop the browns in the bowl, or I want to put gravity to good use. Well, that did get me some strange looks in kindergarten, but I didn't care. One time when I was 7, I went with Mom to my friend's birthday party. I was having an amazing time stuffing my mouth with cake, but when I wanted a 5th helping, Mom refused. You know the sugar rush makes you hyperactive, Kiara. No more cake. But when Mom wasn't looking, I sneaked to the table quietly and cut myself a huge slice. Just then, Mom saw me and tried to snatch it from my hand when my classmate Naomi bumped into me and the cake went flying onto Mom's face.
What have you done? I wanted that cake. It's so yummy and sugary. Not like all those awful salads I have to eat at home. Here, have mine. This one's even more sugary since I added strawberry syrup on top. And here's a secret. Salads taste much better when you put chocolate sauce on it.
That was genius. I tried her recipe that night, and the sugar rush made me go wild. I transformed into a little tornado bouncing off the walls, destroying everything in sight. And Dad was not amused. He gave me the biggest lecture on how I needed to behave responsibly and grounded me for a week with no gadgets, no storybooks, and no desserts.
This should teach you how to live a disciplined life.
I sulked for hours, but knew better than to argue with Dad. The next day at school, Naomi asked me if I tried her recipe, and I told her the truth.
But that's so lame. If kids won't eat sugar, then who will? We can't have the sugar factories go bankrupt, right?
After that day, Naomi brought sweet treats for me every day, and soon we became best friends. Meanwhile at school, I studied my butt off to ensure I topped my grades. I knew it was always expected of me, and I loved studying anyway, so I wasn't complaining. But studying wasn't the only thing I was good at. By the time I was in high school, I was the president of the student council, a national-level chess player, and the best actress in the school's drama club. And I absolutely loved the drama club. It was the only time in my life when I could forget who I was and slip into the life of another character. One time, I got chosen to play Juliet for an inter-school drama competition, but the guy playing Romeo broke his ankle and got replaced by the biggest jerk in our school, Justin. And he was so annoying. Ever since I'd made fun of his gigantic glasses in first grade, he'd held a grudge against me and was such a pain in the butt. Romeo, oh Romeo, where art thou, oh Romeo?
Kiara, oh Kiara, I'll make you a tiara of spiders and flies all dead to put it on your ugly head.
That's not what you're supposed to say.
No? Sorry, I forgot my lines. But you're such a piece of art that poetry just flows out of me whenever I see you.
God, why was he such a moron?
Other than this minor glitch called Justin, my life was perfect. Hey, Naomi, I won the Spanish debate competition. Again.
Could it be that no one else participated?
Well, it's not my fault everyone's scared to compete against me.
Girl, why don't you just slow down and enjoy life? You know, you don't have to be perfect at everything.
I know, but that's just how I am.
No, it's just how you've made yourself to be. Tell me, when's the last time you went to a party?
I don't know, but that reminds me. Dad's hosting a dinner for his politician friends tonight, and your dad's invited too, so you better come along. That night at the dinner, all the adults were mingling with each other while Naomi and I sat in a corner sipping orange juice.
What a bore fest.
Catch me if I fall asleep. What's wrong with this party? The music's nice, the people are classy, and the food is good.
How dare you call this food? Cows eat this stuff. Burgers, cupcakes, extra cheese pizzas, that's real food.
As for the people, I bet they secretly hate each other. Can't you see all the fake smiles? That's called being polite. Polite my butt. After putting me through this torture, you've gotta accompany me to the school's camping trip this weekend. I don't think Dad would. Just then, Dad walked over and said he wanted to introduce me to someone.
Kiara, meet Ted. His dad's a media mogul in the US. And my dear friend, we keep joking about you two getting married. Why don't you two get to know each other?
Ted took me out for a stroll in the garden, and it was so awkward. He cracked the lamest jokes, kept bragging about how rich and famous his family was, and even tried holding my hand once. I avoid holding hands since it's the flu season, and I can't risk catching an infection.
I like it. A girl who knows how to take care of herself will take good care of my babies too.
What the freaking fudge? Thankfully, at that moment, someone came looking for him and he left. I thought of escaping to my room when I saw Naomi at our mansion's gate talking to someone. It was Justin, and he was dressed as a pizza boy. What are you doing here?
Belly dancing. Can't you see I'm delivering pizzas?
Sorry, Kiara, but I was starving and the food at your party is, terrible. But Naomi, it's healthy, and it's good to eat healthy food. Good luck trying to convince yourself, hun, but I'd rather eat unhealthy food and go to heaven sooner. Yum.
I have a spare pizza if you want some.
I can't eat junk food and take risks with my health.
Holy potatoes. I always thought you were a snob, but you're actually a nutcase. I guess it's no fun being you.
Can you stop being a jerk? It's easy for you to judge when you don't know a thing about me or my life. Feeling angry, I turned and stormed off. But deep inside, I knew no matter how much I tried to deny it, Justin was right. It was no fun being me. Feeling a bit frustrated, I went to Dad's study later that night to have a heart-to-heart conversation with him. I had to tell him about that self-absorbed dimwit Ted and that there was no way I could have a future with him.
What do you mean Ted's not your type? You don't even know him yet. Besides, I've decided this marriage will be great for your political career.
Marriage is not a deal, and I'm still a teenager.
So where's the rush? You two can start dating and then eventually get married.
I couldn't believe my ears. Dad had decided my future, and I had no say in it? I was so mad at Dad that the next day at school, I told Naomi I'd accompany her to the camping trip. Your dad agreed? I hope you told him you can't take security along. Dad doesn't need to know. Whoa, who are you, girl? And what did you do to my perfect friend? I'm just letting her take a back seat for a while. Later that day, I was going to the library to return some books when suddenly a hand grabbed my arm and pulled me into an empty classroom.
Listen, I'm sorry for last night, but it seems tragic that you've never eaten a pizza before. So, I got this for you. Take a bite. I promise you won't die.
Justin looked straight into my eyes, and for some reason, it made my heart skip a beat. It's amazing.
Not as amazing as you, though. I mean, you amaze me.
And why's that?
You're the only girl I know who looks like a goat eating a pizza.
What an absolute jerk! That weekend, when I snuck out of my house early in the morning for the camping trip, Naomi's car was already waiting for me. We drove for hours and reached a huge house by the lake in the middle of nowhere. Where are we? And where are the camp people? Kiara, don't be mad, but I lied to you. This isn't a camping trip. Justin and I decided to organize an overnight party, and I thought Dad's lake house would be perfect for it. What? You've gotta be mad. You know I hate parties. That's 'cause you've never been to one. Come on, Kiara, it's just one night. Even though I was super mad at Naomi, I agreed since I had no other option. Her driver had already left after dropping us off. As we went inside the lake house, I discovered Naomi had invited tons of people, including some of our classmates, and everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves. I stood like an outcast for a while until Naomi forced me to join everyone. And I must admit, I had a lot of fun. That night, we played Spin the Bottle, and I got partnered with none other than Justin. Our task was to spend an hour in the woods. Oh, come on, you can't be serious about this. It's just a stupid game.
Guys, I think Kiara's too chicken to do this. She's a scaredy cat.
Me? Scared? You've gotta be kidding. I marched ahead of Justin, and in a matter of minutes, we were out in the woods. Justin asked me to stop, but I was determined to prove my bravery. So I kept going, and soon we were lost.
You idiot. How are we gonna go back?
No one's ever called me an idiot. And why don't you open Google Maps or something?
Because there's no signal here.
We tried finding our way back, but when we couldn't, we fell asleep under a tree. When I woke up the next morning, I found myself lying awkwardly over Justin, drooling on his jacket. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Ugh, you're heavy. I'm gonna have a sore back for a month.
You could have woken me up.
And risked your anger? No thank you. Besides, I understand you're used to sleeping on soft mattresses.
I wanted to tell him his abs were anything but soft, but I knew better. Justin, I want to drop the browns in the bowl.
You want to what?
Oh, gosh. I need to use the washroom.
And where will your highness find it in the middle of this jungle?
No need to be so snarky. I'll go find one myself.
Where do you think you're going? Don't even think of wandering alone unless you want to end up in some bear's browns.
He then pointed towards a big rock and asked me to finish my business behind it. We spent that day wandering through the woods. Thankfully, Justin knew how to climb trees and he plucked lots of fruit that kept us going. We talked about random things and I found myself getting attracted to him with each passing second. He was funny, smart, and incredibly handsome. And for some reason, I felt totally at ease with him. I told him everything about my life. My love for theater and Dad's expectations of me. He told me about his younger sister who was sick and that he was working 2 jobs after school to earn money for her treatment.
That's why I was at your home that night delivering pizzas.
You aren't who I thought you'd be. You pretend you don't care, but deep down, you're actually a good person.
And you're trying so hard to earn your dad's approval that you've forgotten to have your own life to live.
You don't get it. It's not that easy.
It isn't so complicated either. Okay, close your eyes and see yourself as a politician giving a speech. Do you like it?
Yeah, kinda.
Now, picture yourself on stage, giving the best performance of your life.
In that moment, I imagined myself as Juliet, delivering my lines with such confidence that the audience cheered loudly. It felt so surreal that my eyes flew open.
So, which scenario did you like better?
I don't know.
Don't lie to yourself. You have one life, Kiara. Live it the way you want to.
Suddenly, Justin's face was so close to mine that I forgot to breathe. Then he gently lifted my chin and kissed me. It was the most magical moment of my life. Just then, we heard the sound of helicopters and we started shouting and waving like maniacs to catch their attention. Soon, a team of paramedics rescued us, and when I finally reached home, I thought Dad would be relieved to see me. But to my surprise, he looked furious.
I can't believe you would be so reckless, Kiara. Do you have any idea how much negative publicity we've got?
Dad, I was lost in the woods for hours, and all you care about is negative publicity? I stormed off to my room, wishing I'd never been rescued. That night, I was about to go to sleep when I got a call from Naomi that left me stunned. I wish I'd never invited you to my party. Your dad is literally ruining my life. He got my college application canceled by telling the dean stories about my reckless attitude. And he even got Justin fired. You knew how the guy was working so hard to save money for his sister's treatment. But Naomi, I didn't save it, Kiara. I wish you had a spine. Saying that, she hung up on me, but I felt my blood boil. How could Dad do such things? I ran to Dad's study and confronted him, and he didn't even bother denying it.
They got what they deserved.
That was it. Something in me snapped that day. Dad, how could you? That college was Naomi's dream, and Justin's working 2 jobs so he can afford his sister's treatment.
I don't care. Those kids were distracting you from your goal.
My goal? Says who? Did you even consider for a second that I may not want to be a politician? All my life, I worked so hard to make you happy, but I just can't do it anymore. For the first time in my life, I shouted at Dad, and he looked stunned. The next 2 days, I refused to eat anything until Justin got his jobs back and Naomi's admission was restored. Ultimately, Dad had to listen to me. Then, when I told Dad a few days later that I planned to join an acting school in the US after I finished high school, he threw a massive fit. But I was no longer the Kiara he could dominate. I knew Dad had bribed the college dean into kicking Naomi out, so I threatened to tell the press about it. I'll create a massive media frenzy, one you'll never come out of. I knew Dad's reputation meant everything to him, so he had to agree. I moved to the US, and over the next few years, I worked my butt off and became a popular actress. One day, I was backstage after a performance when I heard a familiar voice.
Autograph, please.
Yeah, for me too. Justin? Naomi? I was so happy to see them both that I jumped and hugged them. We sat and talked for hours. I told Naomi how I felt so ashamed of what Dad did that I never contacted them. I thought they hated me. Naomi told me she'd graduated from an even better college and apologized for her bad temper that day. And Justin told me how he'd saved up enough money for his sister's surgery and had even started his own pizza chain back in Norway. I am just so happy for you guys.
Can you maybe make me even happier? By going to dinner with me. How does this weekend sound?
Oh, really? And what if I say no?
I'll try again and again and again.
I shut him up with a kiss as Naomi cheered us on.